The warmest of welcomes to you indeed to the knockout stage, the round of 16 of the 2021 AFC Champions League, as Cerezo Osaka host the Pohang Steelers at the Yanmar Stadium Nagai in Osaka. It's a very pleasant day for football, and it's so lovely to see that the home stadiums are once again back in use after the neutral hubs served such a valuable purpose during the group stage. In the group stage of the competition, Cerezo Osaka finished top with 4 wins, 2 draws and no defeats. The Pohang Steelers were second in their group with 3 wins, 2 draws and a loss. And all of that amounting to what could be a fascinating contest between two sides who could be very well matched, actually. Cerezo Osaka very strong defensively in the group stage, not as strong when it came to finding the back of the net against a Pohang Steelers team who have a great pedigree in this competition. They won the title in 2009. They won the predecessor competition in 1997 and 1998, the old AFC Club Championship. So one of the great nations of Asian football, 2 of the great nations of Asian football meeting, and one of the greatest clubs in the continental competitions, visiting the beautiful setting of the Yanmar Stadium in Osaka. Lovely city, known for its distinctive pink cherry blossom, hence where Cerezo take their equally distinctive colours from. Cerezo, the Spanish word for cherry, and it is one of the many tributes to the beautiful sakura that dotted all around this great city. It's one of the most fabulous parts of Japan, Osaka. It's a very idiosyncratic and fascinating place to visit. Certainly plenty of good landmarks to take a photograph of. It's also known for its delicious food as well. I'm not sure that's the finest example of it, but whatever keeps you going during a big match, eh? And it's pretty humid this time of year in Osaka as well. The conditions can be fairly testing, even for an evening kick-off. And there are, as you can see, some spectators back in the stadia, appropriately socially distanced, all the safety measures being followed. And it's a great pleasure not just to welcome them back, but to welcome you back as well to the AFC Champions League following the summer break, because naturally there was another very big thing happening in this part of the world, the games of the 32nd Olympiad. Now the AFC Champions League resumes in earnest. And this is the East region, one of 4 round of 16 ties. The draw for the quarter-final stage to be made on the 17th of September. The regions don't mix until the final. So these teams are determined to be in the East region right the way through to the final 2, should they make it to that stage. And it's a stage that the Pohang Steelers know very well, having, as mentioned before, won the title in 2009. And a gentleman who knows it particularly well is Kim Gi-dong, the head coach of the Pohang Steelers. He was part of the playing staff during that campaign, though he did not feature in the final. His opposite number is a relatively new acquisition to the manager's seat at Cerezo Osaka, but not to the club. Akio Kogiku has been there for some time indeed. On the subject of people who've been there for some time indeed, Kim Jin-hyun, the skipper of Cerezo Osaka, the man from the nation that he faces today. 13 seasons as the first choice goalkeeper. They know him well. They absolutely adore him in these parts. A gentleman who was born in Suwon will be hoping that his fellow countrymen leave with absolutely nothing today. So we are just a few moments away from the kick-off. Players due to come out onto the pitch in a short while. And just the one tie.
Let's welcome the teams of Cerezo, Osaka.
No two-legged competition. One victory, and you are through to the quarter-final stage of the 2021 AFC Champions League. The number 20 shirts sported in honour of the man on the bench today, Yoshito Okubo, the veteran 39-year-old, the top scorer in the history of domestic football in Japan. But now the focus shifts to continental competition. It is the 2021 AFC Champions League, the premier club competition in the continent. This has a big match feel to it, as you would expect from the round of 16 stage. The Yanmar Stadium Nagai hosting Cerezo Osaka against the Pohang Steelers. Back in the day, Cerezo Osaka were known as Yanmar Diesel. Back in the day, Pohang Steelers were known as the Pohang Iron and Steel Company. In short, this is a productive place. These are teams with energy. These are teams who engineer opportunities. And these are teams, especially the Pohang Steelers, who know a thing or two about precious metal, including the 2009 AFC Champions League. Akio Kokiku has one easy job, which is selecting Kim Jin-hyun in goal. It's his 13th season as the number one. At the back, new signing Thiago has shown he's a valuable goal scorer too, was the club's top scorer in the group stage. But the main story is the returning hero, Takashi Inui, the 33-year-old having returned from Europe to his boyhood club last month. Abdul Rahman Ibrahim of Qatar is in charge of this.
Fair play. Fair play. Fair play.
Seems to be getting his message about fair play across nice and clearly. Captains Kim Jin-hyun and Kang Sang-woo.
Same color, huh? For you, blue, huh? Green. Ball or field? Field? Afraid from ball? No afraid?
Kim Gi-dong has a number of young players and new signings in the team, such as the number 30, Kim Run-song. The 19-year-old has lots of promise. With Boris Tashti injured and no Song Min-kyu, today would be a great day for Manuel Palacios to sparkle as he did last season. Cerezo have the exciting Jun Nishikawa on the bench, a pacey and stylish player. Riku Matsuda's twin brother Riki is waiting in the wings. And for Pohang, they have the veterans such as Kim Sung-hyun and Oh Bom-sok to call upon if necessary. So a huge amount of quality on the pitch, a huge amount of quality on the bench. A veteran returning, a veteran in goal, who is from the country that is visiting today. We're set up to have a number of splendid stories. Are we going to get a splendid game to accompany it?
Please take a look at the giant screen. Join us for the kickoff countdown. Are you ready?
The kickoff countdown is underway. And we begin. It is the Pohang Steelers visiting Cerezo Osaka in possession. And they attack the goal to your left. It's the knockout stage of the 2021 AFC Champions League. The winner of this goes straight into the quarter-final stage in the East region. Win your region, and you are through to the AFC Champions League final, where East meets West. In possession for Cerezo Osaka, Thiago, the 31-year-old from São Jorge do Oeste in Paraná, in the south of Brazil, who really has been a fine signing for them. Very dangerous from set pieces. They will have to be highly vigilant, the Pohang Steelers, when it comes to not giving away needless free kicks and corner kicks to allow him a chance. Just grabbed at the second opportunity by Kung Hyun Mu, 26-year-old. He's played all bar one game in the domestic top flight so far this season. Two hugely established goalkeepers, there's no doubt about that. Top of Group J, Cerezo Osaka. 4 wins, 2 draws. Convincing, if not emphatic, would be a good way to put it. As on the subject of emphatic, that was slightly hefty from Shin Jin-ho. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Makes contact with the ball. Is he really in control of the challenge? Now, Yuki Fujita certainly thought he was not. It was rather a lunge. But yes, Cerezo, not huge in terms of their margin of victories, apart from the big win that they did have in just one of their games. They have one 5-0 win. For the most part, they were quite conservative in the margin of victory. Pohang Steelers coming through in second place in Group G behind Nagoya Grampus. 3 wins and 2 draws. There is the new man in charge, Akio Kokiku. And things going pretty well for him at the moment. First game in charge was a win in the Osaka derby against Gamba. And here is Palacios. Across to cut it out is Koji Toriumi. Palacios, the 28-year-old from Quibdó in the west of Colombia on the Atrato River. Kim Gi-dong, the 49-year-old who played for the Steelers back in 1991 and 92 when they were the POSCO Atoms, during one of the approximately 8,000 names they've had over the past couple of decades. And he also played for them for a further 8-year spell at the start of the century. Set a record for being the oldest ever scorer in the league. 13 is Kwon Wan-kyu, to Jun Min-gwon, graduate of Jungwon University. Shin Jin-ho, gentleman with an extraordinary amount of experience in this competition, and he's a brave old soul, isn't he? Captain of the great rivals of the Pohang Steelers, moving from Ulsan Hyundai, where he won the Champions League. Knows what it is to lift this trophy. Did it last season, now playing for their great rivals. Second time in his career. The captain, Kang Sang-woo. As we look at Thiago, who has now added the Champions League to having played in the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Sudamericana. Adam Taggart. Slightly loose delivery there, allowing Palacios to recapture possession. Palacios once more. Patient from the Pohang Steelers, and just about cut out, half cut out, but brought under control very nearly by the skipper. It's now with Shin Jin-ho. Palacios. Now an opportunity on the counter-attack. Taggart for Okuno, but it's been stolen back by the Pohang Steelers. Going to be picked up by Marko Kvesic. Good idea to send that out to Kang Sang-woo. Cross from Kim Roon-song. Just 19, Kim Roon-song. Made only 6 appearances in the league. But he's a player who evidently is in the mind of Kim Gi-dong. Jun. Brought under control by Koji Toriumi. Player who signed at the start of the season from Jeff United. 13 is Hon Wan-kyu. Kim Roon-song. Once again, the teenager. Safe to say it's one of those openings where the cards are being kept close to the chest. Especially, one suspects, for the Pohang Steelers, the knowledge that they're playing against a team that is hard to break down, hard to score against in terms of the way they've played so far in the group stage of the competition. And the last thing they want to be doing is chasing the game early on. Kvesic going down. What a nice pass that is to Adam Taggart. Okuno to Taggart, an opportunity, pulled back and just about cut out. But an effective moment of counter-attacking play from Cerezo Osaka. Kang Sang-woo. Shin Kwon-hyun. We'll go back to Shin Kwon-hyun, the 34-year-old who signed this season from Gangwon. Played 24 times in the K-League 1. Yamada wearing 34. Riku Matsuda. Fujita. That's back to Riku Matsuda, 30-year-old from Osaka. His twin brother on the bench. Here is Shin Kwon-hyun. Now to Kvesic. Palacios. Nice ball to Kang. Comfortable header away from Thiago. Taggart does well with Hon Wan-kyu trying to steal the ball from him. And now it is Inui, a man who's just re-signed for the club. A veteran who's had a successful career in Europe for many, many years. both of these clubs having undergone various name changes during their lifetimes, as is very much the way of things in the storied history of Japanese and Korean football, particularly with the various evolutions of the league system. Cerezo, Osaka. I'll come back to that because here goes Palacios down the wing, and it's just poked behind. Nice idea. Touch from Koji Toriyumi. Little burst of pace from Manuel Palacios. How easily he got past the veteran Inui. And again past Yusuke Maruhashi. No doubt about it. When he's on song, he's a wonderful footballer. Last time he scored a goal was just over a year ago. Shin Jin-ho. Sending this corner kick. Player who's playing his 34th Champions League game. It's a tremendous record. That should be Okuno's. It is Okuno's, and he is such a key figure in, well, curse the commentator there, I was about to say he's such a key figure in leading the counter-attack with great runs and splendid passes. Just pretend I didn't say that. We just had a look there at the gentleman who won the Manager of the Year award in the Korean top flight last season, getting the Pohang Steelers to third place. They've had a little bit of a renewal of good fortune, should we say, as Kvesic has possession to Shin. Palacios playing it back. Patient. And it's certainly clear that the Pohang Steelers are aware of the potential for Cerezo to really cause problems counter-attacking wise. It's nicely worked out to Kang. Plenty of space to find a cross. Can he do so? Pulls it back. Chance for Kvesic. He was crowded. And that's a great block by Hiroto Yamada. Certainly, though, Kang Sang-woo down the left is a possible target. That's offside. And Sun Mo, Asian Games gold medalist in 2018, just sneaking ahead of the line. No doubt whatsoever. Just the effort from Shin Kwong-hoon was well blocked by Hiroto Yamada, the 21-year-old, playing just his third game in the Champions League. Thiago. Palacios. Quarter of an hour gone, and little in terms of very clear chances, though Kim Min-song trying to test him with that cross. What a presence he has been. 34-year-old from the Republic of Korea. Been at Cerezo since graduated from Dongguk University in 2008 and hasn't missed a league game since March of 2017. Over 150 consecutive appearances in J1. barely seen the ball, so there's Osaka. But then Pohang Steelers have barely seen the goal, so much of a muchness. Yamada. Matsuda. Thiago just overhitting that a little, making life difficult for Riki Harakawa. Shin Kwong-hoon, another very experienced Champions League performer. This also his 34th appearance in the competition, like Shin Jin-ho. 7 campaigns as well. This is a chance for Palacios. Takes it, and he's just got a little too acute an angle to deal with. There's a Fujita, plays it away. Good stop by Kim. Perhaps Palacios just not having the geometry in his favour. Fine opportunity for the Pohang Steelers. It was a lovely ball as well, right over the top of Maruhashi. Perhaps just a slightly aggressive touch from Palacios to bring it under control. Round about here, just Cannon's off the top of his knee. And one has to credit the defensive work of Koji Toriumi, because although that got over the top of him, he tracked back to make life difficult for Palacios when it came to the shooting angle. One suspects it would have been of great embarrassment to Kim Jin-hyun if he'd been beaten in that kind of position. He's playing in his 26th game in the Champions League as Inui fouls in trying to recapture possession. How delighted they are to have him back, though, the Cerezo Osaka fans, the gentleman who left in 2011 for Germany initially. Kang on to Kim Roon-song. Kang just runs out of space. 27-year-old, graduate of Kyunghee University, founded in 1949. Very fine reputation that it has. Very famous for its traditional Korean medicine college. Same university as Eun-jae, the goalkeeper for the national team from 1994 to 2010. Played over 130 games. Well known for his World Cup heroics. So an institution that has a good track record for producing top-level footballers. Kang has got a little way to go to catch that 133 caps. He's just 132 behind. But a proud moment for him to have made his national team debut against Sri Lanka on the 9th of June. Well, it's a good opportunity to trouble the goalkeeper with an in-swinger. Here goes Kang Sang-woo. Well, I say it's a good opportunity to trouble the goalkeeper with an in-swinger. Turns out it isn't. Safe and composed defending from Shin Kwong-hoon. Matsuda. Thiago. 4 goals for Thiago in the league. in just 13 appearances, hasn't had the chance yet in this game to threaten from a corner or a free kick, but I suspect he will do at some point. He's not just a tall player and a good jumper. It's not solely about power with him. He's a very clever director of the ball with his head. Finds the corner, creates lovely angles in the air. Marko Kvesic, the player from Mostar in the south of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Flicked by Kang. Just couldn't link up with Shin Jin-ho. You can certainly see, though, can't you, that Kang Sang-woo is such a key part of the creative part of the Pohang Steelers game. How nicely this has unlocked a lot of space and a lot of pace as well. In the end, it all rather peters out. Yusuke Maruhashi just couldn't quite find an option. On Wang Q. Ball by Okuno. He was part of the Vegalta Sendai team that played in the Champions League in 2013, Okuno, but only an unused substitute on a couple of occasions, very early stages of his career. I'm sure many of you remember that wonderful Vegalta Sendai story. Team that were runners-up in 2012 amidst the most extraordinary and challenging backdrop after they were so badly hit by the earthquake. Really, the whole region united so strongly. I say the whole region, much of Japan united behind the Vegalta Sendai team. They became, for a period, everyone's second team. And that was a very formative part of Okuno's early footballing education. Here is Manuel Palacios getting away from Maruhashi. And again, making life difficult defensively. It was cut out by Thiago, but that's the second time now that Palacios has got himself into a good crossing position. Where Kang threatens down the left, Palacios does likewise down the right. So as before, it will be Shin Jin-ho with the corner kick. Chun Min-kwon is up and gets a touch on the ball, but the most crucial thing is the touch after it, because it is Cerezo Osaka 0. The Pohang Steelers 1, Lee Sung-mo getting the ball that came off the back of Chun Min-kwon. And they have made the set piece pay. Seem to take a couple of ricochets on the way through as well. Let's have another look at this. Jumping for it, making some contact, Chun Min-kwon, and then getting ahead of Maruhashi is Lee Sung-mo for his second goal of the 2021 Champions League. And it is the away side who strike first. The 25th minute goal from Lee Sung-mo. Now Cerezo Osaka are chasing. Well, Chun Min-kwon, the target, not managing to get a clear head-on goal himself, but doing enough to send the ball through to his teammate, the 23-year-old Lee Sung-mo. Hasn't managed a goal in the league this season, but he's got one in this most crucial tie in the Champions League. Thiago. Goes beyond Harakawa to Naoyuki Fujita. A little bit more impetus now to Cerezo Osaka, perhaps. Inui, it's a good idea. In the end, it's Kang Sang-woo who just gets contact on the ball. Charging in was Thiago. Palacios back with Thiago. Clearly brought down by Shin Jin-ho. Just bursting forward a bit into the midfield there, Thiago, to enliven things. It certainly worked. Okuno. Fujita. Okuno once more. So much better from Cerezo Osaka. Inui, what a lovely ball this is to Riku Matsuda. Good save by Kung Hyun-moo. But a wonderful pass from Takashi Inui. Here comes Fujita. Riku Matsuda. Oh, it's an excellent ball from Matsuda, and the header from Taggart may well have been offside. And suddenly the whole game has come to life, and one has to pay tribute to Lee Sung-mo because it's his goal that's done it. Matsuda, yeah, there's no doubt about it. It is offside against Adam Taggart. But two excellent chances, and Riku Matsuda at the heart of them both. So that will give Akio Kogiku some comfort, and it will just give a little warning to the Pohang Steelers as if they needed one. But Cerezo Osaka will remain a dangerous side even though they trail, and maybe have become a more dangerous side because they trail. Kwon Wang-kyu. Shin Kwong-hoon. Well, the showpiece moment of the last couple of minutes was that pass from Takashi Inui to completely open up space for Riku Matsuda. Probably not the player that you, in the kindest possible terms, want the ball to go to. He's never scored in any cup competition. He has got 7 goals in total for Cerezo. Did actually used to be a forward at junior high school level, but once he got to senior high, moved to full-back. Doesn't often find himself in that kind of position. When you've got the creativity of Takashi Inui in the team, then anyone can find themselves in a goal-scoring position. Thiago, player who is at his 8th club now. Inui gets there, and foul committed anyway by the displeased Shin Jin-ho. Matsuda. Last portion of the first half. And it will be a delighted Pohang Steelers if they get to half-time a goal up. Very efficient. Now here is Hiroto Yamada. It's well cleared to Kang Sang-woo. A little shove by Harakawa on Kvesic. He seems to be in rather pronounced discomfort, Marko Kvesic. As we look at Riki Harakawa, joined the team from Sagan Tosu at the start of the season, after a few years there. All well now for the player who also joined his club this season, Marko Kvesic, the 29-year-old. Started his life at Shiroki Brijeg, near his home in Mostar. He's jumped around a little bit from club to club, only had a spell of 8 games at Olimpia Ljubljana before moving on to the Republic of Korea. Palacios leaps, but can only direct it as far as Maruhashi, who's then bundled over. Fujita. Toriumi. And a foul on Inui, who does get that sort of decision an awful lot because he turns very tightly around people. Fujita. Now stolen, and Shin Jin-ho has an overlap if he wants to use it. He has used it. Kvesic, what a chance! Kvesic turns, and it doesn't quite go, and maybe, oh, just maybe Marko Kvesic took a little too long to get that shot away. That was a glorious opportunity for the Pohang Steelers to double the lead. Instead, it is now a counter-attack from Cerezo Osaka with Takashi Inui. Plays it beyond Okuno, gets it back from Riku Matsuda. Oh, it's a wild challenge from Kvesic. Looks as though advantage is played. Harakawa can't use the run from Maruhashi. Whole game's found an extra gear. Now it is threatening to become a little diesel-powered. One is reminded of Abdul Rahman Ibrahim's call for fair play at the start of the game, and he will now express himself in less jovial terms to Shin Jin-ho and Adam Taggart. It's quite clear, isn't it? If you want a yellow card, keep doing it, otherwise finish. It's not a man who clearly enjoys ambiguity, Abdul Rahman Ibrahim. And he's right to step in and say enough's enough. Often in situations like that, the player will not remotely enjoy being chastised by the referee, but they might rather grudgingly admit after the game it was a necessary intervention that stopped them from departing the field of play early. Park Sung-wook is really in trouble. Maruhashi, and Palacios has done well. Just not able to get that beyond Toriumi. But there is a real danger, isn't it? Palacios on the counter-attack. flicked on by Lee Sung-mo, the goal scorer. Himself responding to the flick on from Jun Min-kwon. Thiago. Bit of pressure on Fujita. Harakawa. Toriumi with around about 10 minutes to go until the half-time interval. Hiroto Yamada. Out to Riku Matsuda. It's been a good response by Cerezo Osaka to the goal in the 25th minute, but an excellent chance for Marko Kvesic. Just a matter of moments ago, could so easily and perhaps should have doubled the advantage for the Pohang Steelers. He made such a good run. But it has now the air of a contest with more goals to offer us. Riku Matsuda. Firm challenge, shall we say, from Shin on Okuno. So the long throw coming from Naoyuki Fujita. One would expect Thiago to go forwards. Indeed, he has done. And Jun Min-kwon just grappling with Thiago momentarily, had a real grip on his shirt. Taggart watching this intently. Fujita, up went Thiago, he was the most likely to get a contact now. What about Palacios from Kvesic? Still Palacios coming across on the other flank is Riku Matsuda. Palacios just running out of width. But again, it is going to be a problem for Cerezo Osaka. Palacios countering. Nui to Yamada. Well, they were well schooled, the Pohang Steelers, certainly in terms of what to expect from the set piece. The greatest attention was given to Thiago. And though he was the target, he was not able to create a chance the way that Jun Min-kwon did. Matsuda, who had a fine chance of his own, ended up one-on-one with Kung Hyun-moo. Fujita. Matsuda to Thiago, who's caught out of position a touch. Kim Run-song. Kvesic from distance, very optimistically, shall we say. Shin Jin-ho. It was his corner kick that led to the goal. Jun Min-kwon, it was his touch that sent the ball on to Lee Sung-mo. Jun lofting it and flicked on by the goal scorer, looking for Palacios. Inui dispossessed. Kim Runsong. He's had an impressive game. Kvesic. It's a great idea to play it to Kang Sang-woo. Doesn't really have anyone to help him out at the moment, so he's got to hold on to this, which he's done. Almost has done, but it's going to be a corner kick. He just appeared out of nowhere, the captain. There, the man who just stole a yard inside the 6-yard box for the opening goal. So the corner is up in the air from Thiago, and a little pressure on Kim Jin-hyun. Nothing he can't handle. Just a few minutes remain for the home side to get something out of the first half. Harakawa gives it away. Kang Sang-woo is going to get it back from Lee Sung-mo. Kang Sang-woo's cross is a little too heavy for Kvesic. A reminder of how the deadlock was broken. Shin Jin-ho on to Chun Min-kwon, and then well read Lee Sung-mo getting his second goal in the AFC Champions League this season. He's been a very patient player, Lee Sung-mo. Breakthrough season was really last year. Joined from high school back in 2017. Harakawa looking for Taggart. Taggart brings it under control. Maruhashi, Inui. Flicked on by Yamada from Fujita's pass. Happy just to use up some time now. The Pohang Steelers goalkeeper Kang Hyun-moo waiting for the half-time whistle. Palacios. Inui, it should be an easy one for Jun, and it is. It's going to be Steelers' ball. You can just see the impact it has having a player like Shin Jin-ho in the Pohang Steelers team, somebody of such extraordinary big match experience. Just away from Taggart, and Palacios tries to start the counter-attack. It's just a tough one for Kang Sang-woo to stay on side anyway. Kim Runsong. And we enter the single minute of additional time. Shin Jin-ho, all cut out by Toriumi. The foul on Inui means that there will be at least one opportunity for Cerezo Osaka if they can hold possession. Okuno. Well, there have been a fair few what-if moments in this first half. And I suspect that no matter who you're supporting, you probably feel that way. You probably feel that if you're supporting Cerezo, you should be level. If you're supporting the Pohang Steelers, you probably feel you should be 2 up. And reality is, you're both right. Riku Matsuda tries to cross it, well cut out. And that is the last activity of this first half. A first half with just the one goal scored by Lee Sung-mo in the 25th minute after Chun Min-gwon had made contact with Shin Jin-ho's corner kick. There have been other opportunities. Takashi Inui providing a beautiful ball for Riku Matsuda. And also Marco Kvesic for the Pohang Steelers, finding himself one-on-one with Kim Jin-hyun. One suspects there are a few more twists and turns in this fixture to come. One suspects that his goal is not the only goal that we'll be talking about. At half-time, it's Cerezo Osaka 0, Pohang Steelers 1.
Yes! Yes!
the setting of the Yanmar Stadium Nagai in Osaka for this round of 16 meeting between Cerezo and the Pohang Steelers. Japan taking on the Republic of Korea. And it's the visiting side that leads the way at the halfway mark, courtesy of a predatory touch from Lee Seung-mo at the far post after Shin Jin-ho's corner kick had been touched on by Jun Min-gwon. But there have been other opportunities, both for the away team and for the home side. And the last 15 minutes or so of the first half suggesting that we're in for quite a contest. An interesting change, Thiago being replaced by Ryuya Nishio at half-time. 20-year-old from Osaka, centre-back who's come through the youth team. And that the only change made by Cerezo Osaka. Manuel Palacios has certainly been problematic for Kim Jin-hyun. Tested him at the near post. The second half begins as Cerezo Osaka restart the game and attack the goal to your left. The only goal of the first half scored after 25 minutes by Lee Seung-mo from Shin Jin-ho's corner kick. Chances for Riku Matsuda for Cerezo Osaka. Very good chance for Marko Kovacic for the Pohang Steelers. A half chance for Manuel Palacios. And Abdul Rahman Ibrahim, the referee, has had to be clear on a couple of occasions about the need for temperance. This is, after all, a round of 16 match in the 2021 AFC Champions League. And there's no second leg. Takashi Inui, 33-year-old in his second spell now for the team. Back heel to Maruhashi. Fujita. Toriumi. Arakawa. Purposeful beginning to the second half from Cerezo Osaka, which the small number of spectators are enjoying a great deal. Back from Toriumi to Kim Jin-hyun, the captain and Republic of Korea international, albeit no cap since 2018. He has been on the bench recently, including to defeat to Japan. But he's been with the team ever since he left university in 2008. Fujita, the substitute to Nishio, Matsuda, Yamada, Takashi Inui. Another spell of possession for Cerezo Osaka, but Pohang Steelers disciplined in forcing it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That is absolutely a foul. Not a great surprise that it was Shin Jin-ho either. Just caught out there, Nishio. Kang Sang-woo. It's a good little flick from Riku Matsuda. Okuno has possession. Chance to relieve some of the defensive pressure. Toriumi. Inui. Player who's played in the UEFA Europa League as well as the AFC Champions League. Made his second debut for the club in the win at Consadole. It's been an interesting spell for Cerezo Osaka. They've been uneven this season. Ready. 12th in the table. But things are promising under the new manager. Handball clearly by Okuno. And one has to suspect that Akio Togeku will be thinking, you know, I've really earned this opportunity. He's been the assistant manager since 2016 under 4 different head coaches. He's been a scout at the club, he's been an under-18 coach, he's been a member of staff since 1998. And one hopes that he is able to make a real success out of the role in the way that Kim Gi-dong seems to be doing at the Pohang Steelers. Matsuda onto Yamada. Lovely ball to Takashi Inui. Inui doesn't make any use of it, but it's rebounded to Matsuda and Harakawa. His next goal will be his 20th career goal. And there was not even one little moment when it looked like it was going to be this one. That was not the greatest strike of his career. Let us adopt kindness and suggest it might have bobbled up a touch. Player who came through the Kyoto Sanga youth team and went from there to Kawasaki Frontale. Didn't really settle at the team. That spell he had at Sagan Tosu for a few years was ever so important. Palacios. Powerful, clever play from Manuel Palacios, and a great cross too. Riku Matsuda with an excellent headed clearance, and the goalkeeper has to use his feet. But Palacios got that in with real pace and purpose. Jun. Inui, it's going to be shepherded behind by Dong Hyun Moo. And there he is, the man who's occupied just about every conceivable role at the club. Took over from Levi Kulpi on the 26th of August. What a tough job to go pretty well straight into the Osaka derby. There have been a lot of Osaka derbies lately. 3 of the last 5 Cerezo games have been against Gamba due to the 2 matches they had against them in the League Cup as well. Well, that was nearly a very unfortunate ricochet to Lee Sung-mo. Park Sung-uk just thumps it up in the air. Player who was added to the squad having joined from the Busan Transportation Corporation in K3. Kvesic yet again finding himself a little discomfort after a challenge, down clutching his ankle early on in the game. Yuya Nishio. Nishio, one of those Cerezo players who's benefited from the club having a reserve team in the third tier of Japanese football. Played a lot of games for them. Harakawa. Maruhashi. Now it is Hiroaki Okuno. Goalkeeper should make that his, and does. It's well claimed by Kung Hyun-moo. He's had a very stable game. Played in every single match so far in the Champions League campaign. And how good it is to see the Pohang Steelers back in Champions League football, especially in knockout football too, because they've gone out before the quarter-final stage in 3 of the last 4 competitions, the winners from 2009. 5 times they've won the top flight of football in the Korea Republic. Founded in 1973, almost half a century ago. Used to be known as the Pohang Iron and Steel Company, and the POSCO Dolphins, and the Atoms, and the Pohang Atoms, then the Pohang Steelers. They've had many names, but whatever you call them, they still win things. Slipped by Okuno. That has rather benefited the visitors. Kvesic, somewhat on his own. Does well to keep that from Yamada. And out to the Champions League debutant, Park Sung-uk. How well he's adjusted to the Steelers team. He's been virtually a fixture since coming in, and this is the goalkeepers, but not with a moment of trepidation, not without a moment of trepidation. Harakawa. Adam Taggart had one opportunity in the first half, struck the post with a header but was offside anyway from Riku Matsuda's ball. Palacios. Good counter-attacking chance this. Kvesic rather just ran into the Cerezo Osaka defence when maybe there were better options available to him. Fujita. Harakawa. Yuki Fujita. Koji Toriumi. Barely played in the league, but more common to see him in the cup competitions. Okuno plays it in to Taggart. And then, that was a miss-hit shot from Minui that almost inexplicably found its way through to Yamada. Palacios, he's hard to get the ball away from. What good play this is by Manuel Palacios. Again, he just can't quite find the quality of cross. And if one is to be critical of his performance today, that That is what will be the indictment. The final delivery has not matched the splendid bursts of pace and technical skill with ball and feet. Played on the diagonal by Nishio and quite going to fall behind, so consequently Park Sung-wook concedes possession and a substitution to be made. Marko Kvesic to depart. So the 29-year-old gives way to the number 79, Go Young-jun. 20-year-old, one of the promising youngsters in the team. He continues his record of having played in every single game of the Champions League this season. He is involved, that is clear. He is one of their best creative opportunities. Here is the substitute, Go Young-jun. First touch for him. Taggart. Out to Yusuke Maruhashi. Inui. It's a good idea to Riku Matsuda. He's managed to keep it in play. Does very well. Goalkeeper rather pressurised. His own defenders got somewhat in his way. Again, it was a great bit of vision to find Riku Matsuda. Maruhashi. Park Sung-wook has to be careful. Inui. Good defending, really well blocked. Oh, and that has completely unexpectedly fallen for Fujita. I think it was Shin Jin-ho. It came off. Blocked by Kim Run-song. Fujita must have been utterly shocked that that came to him in such space. Yes, he cannot believe his luck. It's a strange piece of play, that. That is an exemplary bit of defending from the teenager Kim Run-song. He has had a very good game. Two more changes to be made. Palacios leaps. And leaps again, and this time gets some success. Shin Jin-ho back to the winger. Shin Kwang-hoon. Forced all the way back to Kung Hyun-moo. What a good jump that was from Nishio. But over the top, and the goalkeeper has to come out. There's a chance here from distance. Lee Sung-mo. And it's blocked extraordinarily, pretty well on the goal line by Koji Toriumi. A fine chance for the Pohang Steelers. Goalkeeper out of position. Is it another of those moments that the Pohang Steelers will look back at and think, we really should have increased the lead? This game is finely balanced. There's about half an hour to go in this round of 16 AFC Champions League tie. Nishio. Fujita. Harakawa. Maruhashi. Cut out. Palacios. What a clever touch from Palacios. If he gets this back, he's engineered something quite special, but it's well defended by Toriyumi, who's also having a strong performance. Now, here is a very useful substitution to be able to make. Mitsuki Kato and Jun Nishikawa coming on. Adam Taggart and Hiroaki Okuno, the players departing. So Mitsuki Kato, the 24-year-old, an attacking substitution. Also Jun Nishikawa, who is still a teenager and is somebody who's got some pace and a little touch of creativity. He's a very promising young member of the side. Inui. Oh, well played by Riki Harakawa. Not many have been able to get the ball off Palacios today. Nishio. Kato. Maruhashi quite central. Inui. Palacios. Played a little behind the substitute Go Young-jun. Palacios. Shin Jin-ho. Oh, what great space and what an opportunity to play that into Lee Sung-mo. And it's another what might have been moment for the Pohang Steelers. Fujita. Can Cerezo Osaka punish the Pohang Steelers for some of these missed opportunities, or will the side from Korea Republic be able to hold on? Fujita. Substitute, number 29, Mitsuki Kato in possession. Second season as a professional player, having attended Chuo University, like so many of the players in both Japan and Republic of Korea, doing their undergraduate degree and making their debut in their early 20s. He has scored a couple of goals in the Champions League this season, both against Guangzhou in the 5-0 win, the one big win that they had. Nishikawa in his first ever appearance in the competition. Certainly safe to say they've used Nishikawa sparingly over the short time he's been around. Go. Palacios can't quite control, does well though to keep the attack alive as best as possible. It's back almost to Palacios. Is that going to be a foul? It is not a foul on Jun Nishikawa, who looks incredulous. Needs to use this quickly. That was really good pressure applied by Cerezo Osaka. Firstly by Kato and secondly by Nishikawa. Coming across to get in the way of Jun Mingguan. Palacios. Gentleman from Quibdó, which is the same place as Jackson Martinez, who is well known in the host country today for scoring twice against Japan in the 2014 World Cup. It's a settlement of about 100,000 people in the west of the country. The Colombian has been reasonably well travelled. He's played for Porto and Atletico Madrid. Should be cut out by Jun, it is, but only to Yamada. Oh, Kim Moon Song, player down. As though all is well. Oh, what an important intervention from Koji Todayumi on the goal line. Yusuke Maruhashi, another of the local players. The 31-year-old has been at the club ever since he joined the youth team. Made his 450th career appearance against Sagan Tosu back in April. Fujita. Toriumi. Nishio. Chested down well by the goal scorer Lee Sung-mo. As a result, this attack is still very much alive. First yellow card. For Young-jun, the player caution, the 20-year-old. So time is running out for Cerezo Osaka to fashion an equalising goal. Pohang Steelers still lead through Lee Sung-mo's 25th minute finish. Very ambitious ball, risky, too risky. Palacios is going to threaten Toriumi, but again, the quality of delivery not there. The well-positioned Colombian. Harakawa. Hiroto Yamada. Riku Matsuda, good ball that to Nishikawa. Nishikawa with a chance to cross, it goes behind for the corner kick. He was well positioned there, the substitute, the teenager from Kawasaki. And now on comes the veteran striker. Clear attacking change as Riki Harakawa is replaced by the 39-year-old Yoshito Okubo. Another of the players back at his parent club, his original club. He's hugely popular. He scored 2 goals in 17 Champions League matches. He's the record scorer in J1. What impact can he have? Nothing if the corner is delivered like that. Well, Yoshito Okubo has accomplished an extraordinary amount in his career. He's scored 245 goals in 651 games in all competitions for clubs in 3 countries. Maruhashi. It's a little too strong in the challenge from Bong Wan-kyu and Park Sung-wook. The foul was actually committed by, well, by both of them, but probably initially by Park Sung-wook. This is where they probably wish they had Thiago, who went off at half-time. Maruhashi or Inoue. Maruhashi. It's a great ball. It's just about dealt with by Hung Kyun-moo. Palacios waiting to lap up a counter-attacking chance. We've got a great finish to this game. We'll go to extra time and penalties if necessary. Riku Matsuda positions himself to cross. Is just about dealt with by Kwon Wan-kyu. Did well. This will have to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Once more, Cerezo Osaka, the home side, look for the equaliser. Was rather optimistic, and Jun cutting it out. Now Yuki Fujita. Riku Matsuda trying to find space was Yamada. Now he has the ball. Okubo. And Okubo's cross finding Mutsuki Kato had a lot to do to craft something meaningful out of that. There's enough attention from Park Sung-wook to make that angle not too easy. But it's a useful thing to have a player like him on the substitutes bench. There's another veteran attacker on the bench, and that's for Pohang Steelers, Kim Hyun-sung. Nishikawa. He's done very well. He's had some impact since arriving. Toriumi well forward, spots Maruhashi well. Palacios does better, does superbly. That's great play for Manuel Palacios. And how he has entirely eased the pressure and then gives it away. And the pressure's back on. The 28-year-old was so important in ending that attack. Receives it back from Riku Matsuda. Still just the one change that's been used by Kim Gi-dong. Nishio. The teenager Kim Run-song plays his part in creating this counter-attacking chance. Lee Sung-mo, and an important intervention by Naoyuki Fujita. Matsuda to Takashi Inui. Been slightly quieter in the latter portion of the game. Toriumi, Inui. Matsuda's header on is, well, that's brilliant play from Kato to keep it in. It's about to say it's drifting out, but Kato disagreed enthusiastically. Can he create something out of this, Fujita? Nishio, Matsuda. Headed away by Shin Jin-ho. It's only as far as Naoyuki Fujita. Not really dealing with it with clarity at the back now, Pohang Steelers. Had a couple of chances to end this attack. Inui, Maruhashi. It's a clever idea from Maruhashi, and in the end, the ball is recaptured by Park Sung-uk. It's gone behind anyway, but Park Sung-uk did well. Just got his body around to make life a problem for Yusuke Maruhashi. Went shoulder to shoulder. Made his AFC Champions League debut 11.5 years ago, Yusuke Maruhashi, against Alek Malang of Indonesia. Shin Jin-ho clutching the back of his head. Nishikawa will be clutching the ball in a moment because he's won the free kick. It's going to be Naoyuki Fujita to take it. Just goes short to Toriumi. Now with Nishio. Fujita. Toriumi. Takashi Inui. Inui does well, and then Nishikawa rather thumps it. Only one goal so far in his short career with Cerezo Osaka, and that was just over a year ago against Kashiwa Reysol. Hasn't really been able to impact the game yet, Yoshito Okubo. Kept in play by Koji Toriumi to Kim Jin-hyun. When stoppage time is factored in, probably about 10 minutes or so for Cerezo Osaka. 10 minutes for the Pohang Steelers to hang on. It would be a very impressive win. Disciplined and determined victory, and that will help. Foul by Fujita on Shin Jin-ho. Doing their best, the Cerezo Osaka fans, to create some atmosphere, create some noise. But it's all threatening to be a little hollow at the moment because the Pohang Steelers are not really allowing Cerezo Osaka many opportunities. Ko Young-jun. Captain Kang Sang-woo not able to control it. Maruhashi will have to contend with Palacios. Now Yuki Fujita. Nishio. A little miscommunication there. There's going to be a foul. One last opportunity to impact things from the substitutes bench. Hiroto Yamada being replaced by Motohiko Nakajima. Young attacker, the 22-year-old from Osaka. Came up through the under-23 side. He scored 9 goals in the 2019 season for them, and as a result was promoted to the first team. Nishikawa goes into Park Sun-wook. The referee feels that that was a manipulation by Nishikawa to get the free kick. Still a Cerezo ball. Inui goes to Nishikawa, back to Inui. This is better play. Okubo has his chance, and it's not going to work this time, to his frustration. Didn't get a good strike on the ball, really. It is a corner kick to Cerezo Osaka. It's very well defended at the near post. Be another chance for the home side. Last several minutes of the game. Again, well defended at the near post. Fujita, that was really rather needless to swing at the ball in that way. Surely better there just to keep possession. It allows the Pohang Steelers the opportunity to let the seconds tick down. Palacios. Oh, this is great play from Palacios. A chance to make the game safe. What a super save from Kim Jin-hyun. The flag up anyway to deny Kang Sang-woo whatever the outcome. But the goalkeeper didn't know that, and he made a brilliant save. Natsuda. Nakajima, the substitute. Great clearance at the back. Maruhashi got ourselves a real finish to this game. Here is Kato. Again, flinging bodies at the ball. Pohang Steelers. It's out to Riku Matsuda. Matsuda's cross. It's going to be nodded just past the post. Oh, what a moment of anxiety for the Pohang Steelers. That looked as though an own goal was going to draw the game level. Inui's corner, flicked on, and again it does not go. Oh, Koji Toriumi was inches away. The ball just stopped right there for him, and he didn't have the angle to work with. Just enough done defensively to deny Koji Toriumi, who's never scored for the club. Two moments of immense relief for Pohang Steelers, two moments of absolute heartbreak for the Cerezo Osaka fans, who gasped with anguish as first the defender's header went behind the goal, and then from the resulting corner kick, Koji Toriumi poked it wide. Still, Cerezo Osaka fight like mad for the equalising goal. It's going to be a card. Shin Kwong-hoon added to the book. Well, if the Pohang Steelers manage to hold on now, they will have done it with extraordinary resilience and determination. Everyone back to defend. Captain Kang Sang-woo issues instructions. Here goes Takashi Inui with the delivery. It's half cleared by the goal scorer to Riku Matsuda. Again, not fully cleared. Nakajima crosses. Great header away, but they just can't quite clear the ball. Matsuda doesn't fall for him, and then it's thumped out for a throw by Kim Roon-song. Just over 2 minutes left. We're well into stoppage time. Fujita. Goalkeeper kept his eye on it and claimed it well. Koo Hyun-moo with a sturdy piece of goalkeeping. It looks now as though Cerezo Osaka's Champions League campaign is coming to an end. And how many chances there have been for both of these teams to change the scoreline will all be immaterial from their point of view if they can hold on. Having run so far and run so hard and produced so many nearly moments, it is the impressive Manuel Palacios who departs to be replaced by Kwon Gi-pyo. Use up some time and to provide a little freshness if they need to get that ball into the corner and hold on to it. They need to get it back first. Cerezo Osaka have just under a minute left. Substitute Nakajima under pressure, but they do keep the ball. Koji Toriumi. Again, it's headed clear. Again, it's not fully clear. Hit from distance by Nakajima, it nearly fell to Kato. They're going to get another opportunity at least. Inui, space on the edge of the area for the substitute, whose shot goes behind. Motohiko Nakajima gives another chance for Cerezo Osaka. It's another yellow card, it's Shin Jin-ho. Goalkeeper Kim Jin-hyun has come up. Cleared by Shin Jin-ho, struck and possibly rebounding, and then over the top of the bar, and it's the last chance Oh, it's the final chance and it's gone. It's over. And they have done it. The Pohang Steelers advance to the quarter-final stage of the 2021 AFC Champions League. A moment of agony right at the end for Cerezo Osaka, who had their chances, but he was the only man who found the back of the net. Lee Sung-mo in the 25th minute, winning the game from Shin Jin-ho's corner, flicked on by Junmin Kwon. And it is a victory for the Pohang Steelers, and not even the returning hero, Takashi Inui, could change that. You have to feel for Cerezo Osaka because they play with heart. They play with great passion and great determination. But they've been beaten by a Pohang Steelers team who have proven that they have plenty of steel about them. They will be absolutely thrilled because at the end of the game it's Cerezo Osaka 0, Pohang Steelers 1. The team from Korea Republic advanced to the quarter-final stage in the East region of the 2021 AFC Champions League. Well, it's been a great pleasure having your company for this most engrossing round of 16 tie that ends in a narrow victory for the Pohang Steelers, courtesy of Lee Sung-mo's goal. But a real team effort. Palacios played his part, they all played their part, and they will continue to play a part in the competition because the Pohang Steelers go on to the last 8. Until next time, goodbye.
아니 그렇게